Hey, everybody, it is Dr. Angela Cudger. And yes, it's been quite some time, but we are back. So as soon as you hop on this live stream, let us know that you can hear us. Let us know that you can see us, and let us know that everything's all good. If you're watching us from YouTube, if you're watching us from Facebook, make sure you let us know. So we see you guys already jumping on here. Two things. Let us know you can hear us. Let us know you can see us. Me and Thema Azize Serwa are going to have a conversation that just needs to be had on tonight. Leslie says, I can see you and I can hear you. Yes, indeed.
Hey, Leslie.
Soon as you know you can hear us, y'all know how we do. Share this out. If you're on this live stream and you're getting this information, odds are someone in your community needs this same information, right? And so we're going to have a conversation tonight, you guys, about self-love, okay? About self-love. She says, happy belated birthday, Taylor. Awesome. We were just talking about that. Sharon says, I can hear you, I can see you. So make sure tonight we're going to have a candid conversation about self-love and self-care and what self-care is. Over the next 7 days, we're going to be diving into what we call satisfying self-love. Now, over this time period of these 7 days, we will not be able to get to every single person's thing and cover every single thing. So we promise before this is over, we will give you guys an opportunity to go a little bit deeper and invite you guys to do a little bit more work with us offline. Okay. Yeah. Thema, we're going to talk about self-care tonight.
Oh, my favorite topic. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I see so many people greeting us. Hey, good evening, everyone. It is a joy to be here with my sister and to be with all of you. So I can't wait to have this conversation.
Awesome sauce. So really quick, you guys, before we jump in, I want you to type in the comments, if you're watching us, what self-care means to you. Now, given everything that has happened with the pandemic and with all of the racial uprising, the political things that are happening right now, self-care may have taken a completely different definition and perspective for you. But we want you to tell us in the comments, what is self-care to you? What does it mean to you? And we're going to hopefully, with everything that we're sharing tonight, you'll be able to walk away with a different perspective on what it means to actually care for yourself. So tell us in the comments what self-care means to you. Thema, what does self-care mean to you?
Well, okay, let's do this. So there is no self-care without self-love. Self-care is the evidence of how deeply, how well you love yourself. When I say I love myself, I can prove that I love myself by what I do for my body, what I do for my mind, what I do for my spirit, what I do for my heart, what I do to make sure that I can still pop, lock, and drop it and pick it back up. Like if I say that I love myself, and I need to measure and identify the evidence of that self-love, all you got to do is look at my self-care practices. That's all you got to do.
That's right. And self-care to me has everything to do with paying painstaking, close attention to every single thing you allow in your energy. That is self-care to me. When we love ourselves deeply, I love how you put that. There's no self-care without self-love. If we think about how we love our children, that's the easiest example we can give, or the siblings or the people who took care of us, people who we are the closest and we have the deepest committed relationships with. We pay painstaking close attention. If any little thing arises on your daughter, you're going to see it. You're going to be like, wait a minute, baby.
If you're paying attention.
Right. Whoever their friends are, you're like, okay, who is that person? Right? We're paying painstaking close attention to the things that matter to us deeply. So the question is to everyone who's watching, when was the last time you paid painstaking close attention to every single thing you let into your space? Right? Yes. Every single thing you let into your space, from the friends you let keep getting away with things and sucking your energy out, from the people who keep promises and the people who break them, right? When was the last time you actually paid specific attention to these things, and how did it make you feel? Because this is the essence of how you love yourself, and this is the essence of what self-care really and truly is, right? Someone says, I deeply love myself. Yes. And Leslie says, yes, self-care is saying yes to me every day, mind, body, and spirit, unapologetically, right?
Yes.
Valine says, self-care is keeping my mind, body, and spirit on a high vibration. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Someone else says they look at this daily, moment by moment. Someone else says, hey there, ladies. Well, hey there. Let us know who you are in the comments if your name doesn't come up with your actual comments themselves. Someone else says, Thema was one of my teachers. So happy to see y'all together. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that can get in the way of people being able to pay attention, right? Now, we both have our own journeys, right? We didn't just like come into this thing loving ourselves. I have to be honest, right? Can I just be transparent?
Let's talk about it.
I'm one of those people who kiss myself in the mirror. Like, I totally do it. Maybe it's crazy to some people, but I'm always touching my hands in the mirror like, oh my God, you're gorgeous, right? I'm always doing something that says, I love you so deeply, right? You are absolutely this amazing, high vibrating being on this planet, and I love you. Right. And it is something that is a daily act for me. It is an automatic act. But Thema, it was not always that way for me. It was not always that way.
It took me decades to be who I am today and remember who I am. Because I do believe, I'll share what my barber said to me. He said, before you left your mother's womb, you were downloading all of the information you needed to know about who you truly are. And the moment you left your mother's womb, that began your journey of remembering all that you already know. But if you are loyal to a value system that needs you to be low, that needs you to not really believe in yourself, and we're seeing this in this great awakening in our world right now, the paradigm is shifting. And everybody is remembering that I'm powerful. So, you know, I had to have trauma. I had to have reckonings with myself, with my family, with friends about my identity. And it wasn't until I decided who I was that I was able to love myself and then care for myself. What's always been the obstacle to my self-love and self-care has been not knowing who I am, not being clear about that.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not easy. It's taking blood, sweat, tears, hell, and high water, you know, to really stand in my truth. And, you know, I'll just share a little bit, you know, because of my anointing and the way my gifts are set up, the challenges that I've had to my identity were never simple challenges. My challenge became like being thrown out of college for starting a prayer ministry on a Christian campus, like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? Or being told as a minister that, you know, because I refused a particular covering, that I am not of God. You know, so I had these deep, and it was polarizing experiences going to my GYN in my 20s, and they look at me in my face and saying, if you ever want to be a mother, come up with 15 grand so you can get IVF. And I'm like, I just wanted to know what was happening in my body. And that set me on path, you know, to go deeper in my womb healing journey. So whoever is listening right now, know that obstacles need your permission to exist. You have to agree with the countering perspective of you for it to take value and hold any power in your life. But you also get to disagree if it doesn't line up with what feels good to you. And you'll know what's for you because it'll light your soul on fire. You don't want to live without it. You can't help but smile when you think about it. That is who you are. And align with those thoughts, and it's like fuel in your tank to allow you to have the capacity to even be good to yourself.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Align with what feels good to you. I love it. Yeah. And the only things that work are the things that we give value to. I absolutely Love that you said that. Love it. Leslie says, talk about that, right? Someone says this word is so good.
Ashe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it says, big up, Queens. Hey, hey, hey. So
Hey.
Leslie, that's me. Thema was one of my teachers. Love y'all. Womb Sana. Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone says, listen, self-care for me is finally walking in what everyone deems my flaws and loving all over them unapologetically. It's a different kind of energy I give off now. It has to be different, right?
I love that.
Because you are pushing your energy to a different vibration. You are accepting only the things that allow you to vibrate higher. And you've agreed with allowing those things in your life, right? I love that. Someone else says, I stopped being the sheep of the world and my life changed. Now listen, that's a word right there.
Okay, come on now. We can stay there a while with that.
Right. We also have Nadia Hughes here. She says she's a holistic practitioner and she's a pranic healer. Welcome, Nadia. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Nadia.
Listen, Leslie says, align with what feels good to you. Yes, yes, yes. Every single thing we say, every single thing we do puts out an energy into the universe that says, I want more of that thing. So the moment we understand and we agree with the things that feel good to us, the sooner we can start calling those things into us, the sooner we can become this vibrational match for what we're trying to pull in. And this is such an outstanding energy to do this in. If you have not been following moon cycles, if you have not been following cosmically the things that are aligning and happening, this is that type of energy, Thema, that if someone says, well, it would literally take an act of God for me to be able to get XYZ. The acts of God have been happening.
They're here. Literally. I have been watching an acceleration in my ability to manifest things. I used to feel like I had to do a lot of conjuring, like I gotta do a lot of writing of it out and my candle work. But now, Angela, I think it. This is a season of expedited manifestation. If you can see it, it's yours. And you just have to choose alignment over achievement. You're not going to make it through this shift with a goal-driven mindset. It's not bad to have goals because you need a framework for your vision. However, sometimes God will throw your whole list away. And the only thing you can do is align. So all you have to do is follow what feels good. The better you feel, the more you allow. You ain't even got to beg and plead anymore. You just got to be open to knowing that good is available and it'll rush in. That's the vibration, right?
We have shifted from this dense, heavy, dull, third dimensional energy to squarely being into this fifth dimensional space, right? And it's almost like we hopped over, if people have been paying attention, we hopped over that fourth dimension. And there are a lot of people right now that are manifesting at quantum speeds, right? Quantum speeds. And it is so much so that, like she said, they think it and it shows up. How would your life be different if you thought about your self-care in this way? Where you weren't ruling and toiling to choose the right things to put in your body. You weren't toiling to try to think of how much you love your body, right? To forget about the things that you really don't care for on your body. Not having to put energy into figuring out what to eat or how to move, but just to think of where you would love to be and then have those things literally pour into you and become who you are. We are in that energy now. We are living in that space now, right? So Monique says this is a season of expedited manifestation at lightning speed. This is something that people used to call like the new earth, right? You'll see mystics and people refer to it as, and everybody come together. And it's mind blowing to see it, but we know that it had to happen. It had to get here, right? Now, when we're coming out of this, how will we care for ourselves? Because the reality of it is, Thema, the energy that we all put out is going to be mirrored back to us, right? This is not an opposite subtract kind of thing where Thema and I are in this quantum space and we're attracting people who are not, right? We are attracting people who are mirrors of our energy, right? So how would you care for yourself coming out of this space? Let us know in the comments, right? Thema, what are some of the things that you've seen happen to even your clients and the people who are close to you, and how they care for themselves or how they look at themselves now that they've had an opportunity to really kind of sit with who they are and with everything that has happened?
That's a great question. So from my view, and I work mostly with women, I have never seen women so surrendered in my life. And some of them, it's because they were intentional and they're tuning in and they understand that this is an easy inheritance. If somebody needs that impartation, type below easy inheritance and put the little hands up emoji that this is your season of an easy inheritance. Your ancestors already did the work. You get to sit back and receive. And the signature of a woman who is aligned with her divine feminine nature is her ability to receive. Because as women, we take it in. So what I'm saying with my clients is they are more surrendered than they've ever been. And it is allowing their body to literally reset. They're sleeping more.
Yes.
Right? Their whole way of working is different. You know? And so they're able to see that the things they thought they needed to be doing weren't necessary. That they can be more and do less. And that allows them to give a whole different inheritance to those coming behind them. Your body keeps score. It is obedient to your consciousness. And so women are able to really follow behind their desire instead of what they think they're supposed to do. Their value system around responsibilities is different. Because they realize that I don't have to follow after this prototype and this formula I've been handed of hard labor for wealth. No, this is going to be the impartation. You're going to get wealth. You're going to get health. You're going to get pleasure. You're going to get blessings that you're just going to wake up to. You're just going to wake up, roll over, open your eyes, and because you can, you're going to receive some stuff. And it's going to blow your mind. 2020 is that kind of growth spurt. And so, you know, that's what I'm seeing with my clients. They are amazed that they can receive what they're receiving simply by aligning and surrendering and following pleasure. One of my favorite authors says, desire is the seat of feminine power. And yet, for a lot of my clients, the first thing they were taught to surrender or sacrifice is what they want. In the name of the kids, in the name of the job, in the name of the business, in the name of wanting to be educated. But listen, if you are a woman listening to this right now, I need you to know that what you want, not just what you need, is a priority on your God's list. And you should agree with God quickly and say that what I want is important and is at the top of my list too.
And so it is.
So it is.
Top of the list. Yes. Yes. I love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yolanda says, God will throw your list away. Yes, indeed.
Rip it up.
We got something else for you. Don't worry about it. Right. Something that you'll still agree with though. Right. Yeah. I love it. I love it. She says alignment over achievement. Right. If you can see it, it's yours. Absolutely. 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 Monique says a season of expedited manifestation. Leslie says easy inheritance. Monique says easy inheritance. We got someone else that says
y'all better claim it.
Easy inheritance. That's exactly the space that we're in right now, right? And it's more than just your reclaiming the things that make us feel good, right? Take this opportunity to really dive deep into how you're caring for yourself, right? Even in all the manifesting, we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, right? And we get to do it at a deeper level. We get to decide how deep we want that to go. We get to decide what we want to be brand new about ourselves, right? This morning during my meditation time, I don't know why I felt confused about some things. And the moment, and this is the season that we're in, right? Like it's almost always been like this for me, but it was like this morning. Typically, if I'm confused about something, a spirit will stop me and say, "You don't have that kind of space. We need this, and this from you." Mm-hmm. We are very clear. And Thema, I know you know these messages, right? We are very clear on what our goals here are. This is what we need you to do, okay? And so this morning, I tried to be like, well, but maybe it's like, right? Literally had me writing a list. Get ready for this. Get ready for that. Get ready for this. Right? Affirm this. Like it was so succinct and in alignment and so fast that it gave me what I needed to get up, get out of bed, and start taking action immediately on it. And I was like, well, I guess I'm getting ready for these things, right? These are big things right now. So let me get ready for these things. And so however you're choosing to take care of yourself, right? If you're paying close attention now to the people you're partnering with, you're wanting to pay close attention to the people you're sleeping with, we're going to give you some information over these next 7 days to really dig into that, because this is the season for all of you to be manifested, to be birthed, right?
I love that.
And Yolanda says, easy inheritance. Yes, this is the season for that. So really quickly, you guys, in the comments, let us know the one thing that you want to manifest concerning your self-care. Are you wanting to be able to have better relationships? Are you wanting to understand yourself a little bit more sensually? Are you wanting to understand your sexuality, what you're choosing to do? Because a lot of people are switching sides in everything that's going on, right? Are you wanting to understand who you are at a deeper level? Are you wanting to open your heart up to love again? What is the one thing you want to manifest concerning who you are at a deeper level and bringing more love into your life, right? And so, Thema, let's talk a little bit about how you got from that space that wasn't so great and how you've managed to not only get to where you are now, but being able to stay there. Because a lot of people will get there and they'll bounce back and forth, right?
And they don't know how to stay there.
About that. How do you get that staying power?
So I realized even after healing myself, you know, my body, going through a divorce, finding love again, manifesting my daughter who's 4 and all of that. Even with all of that success, I still wasn't fully present in my life. And the reason I wasn't fully present was because I had poor energy management. I didn't know how to be a good steward of my energy. So I found myself saying things like, I don't have time for. And then one day I said, Thema, are you being honest? Because there is no healing without the truth. I sat my butt down and I tracked hour by hour on paper what I did in a 24-hour period. And that changed the trajectory of my impact and my influence and how I show up in the room. Because then I discovered how much capacity I truly have and what my distractions were and how I was wasting my own energy. And time is the one asset that is irreplaceable. So once I started becoming mindful of what I do with my time, it allowed me to map out from there what were my priorities and how I would get focused. And so I have time in, on, and out of my vision.
Yep.
I'm very intentional about how much time my daughter gets. I'm structured. I'm disciplined with what I do with my energy. And because of that, I'm like Jupiter in these streets. Jupiter is the planet, the biggest planet in our solar. Okay. Listen, because of Jupiter, we have the orbit that we have of all the other planets. We pushed everybody in a position and was like, let's go. You know, from a metaphysical perspective, it's a planet of abundance. That's how I see myself, but I didn't see that until I really looked at what am I really doing with my life? It's so easy to get caught in routines.
Yep.
So even when you're trying to heal, let me just make this juice. Let me just da-da-da-da. And you start losing your innovation and your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And things become mundane. Right? So I do that, and I do it frequently. I just check in on what are you really doing with your life and your time.
Yep.
Time management was so foundational to how I was able to sustain this healing that I've achieved. And I recognize that even though I'm sovereign in my life, I have a spiritual entourage that is responsible for my destiny.
Yep.
So once I run out of my capacity, I throw my hands up. I'll give a perfect example of this. Years ago, I was in my doctor's office for my annual checkup. And when the nurse was bringing me in, she took my blood pressure and it was high. And so I looked at her and I said, oh, just give me a few minutes, please, and come back and check it again. She said, no problem. So when she stepped out the room, I started pulling out every affirmation that I knew for high blood pressure. I started saying all these positive things, right? So the nurse came back in and she said, it's even higher. Girl, all I could do was bust out and laugh. I said, oh shit, that did not work. You had a moment like that. None of them affirmations or deep breaths or taps work. None of it worked in that moment, right? So she could tell. She could tell by the look on my face that I needed another round. I said, please, can you just come back again? Okay. And so this time, when she stepped out, instead of resisting what was in front of me, instead of trying to bypass it, I said to my body, whatever you want me to know in this moment, I accept.
Mm-hmm.
And although I don't want to have this experience, I'm going to trust what it is you're trying to communicate to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the blood pressure was perfect. Sometimes you just be doing too much.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
When you're trying to do self-care, like, listen, do the best you can and trust that there is a spiritual entourage that can close the gap if you would just settle. If you would just settle. I will never forget that moment because it showed me that with all that I know, sometimes my clients are trying to do 20 things at once and I have to look in the eye and say, can you just master one good thing? Can you just wake up and stretch and drink water and then get to some other things?
Yep.
Right? Like, trust your capacity in the moment until you're in your next moment. You know, so that's really been my journey.
I love it. And I love how you said in the beginning, you paid attention to where your energy was going every hour, right? That's that painstaking close attention to the stuff that matters to us, right? And I think a lot of people, when they think of self-care, they think bubble baths, manicures, right? They think of the things that are in and gone, right? They don't think of the things like time management that's happening all day, every day. That is one of the top things that will bring us, like you said, truth, and that truth bring us healing. I love that. And so we want to make sure that when we're looking at self-care, we are bold enough, you guys, to look at the things that we normally wouldn't look at, right? And that time management is huge for your energy, right? I eventually had to go to no unscheduled phone calls, right? And it gives me no reason to look at my phone or anything while I'm trying to be productive in my most creative and most productive hours, right? And so really quickly in the comments, Ricky says, "Hey Angela, hey Ricky Hollingsworth, long time no see." Valine says, "I definitely want to get to know myself on a deeper level." Monique Pearson says, "There is no healing without truth." Charlene says she wants to understand herself at a deeper level to bring more focus, clarity, and energy to her relationships and her business. That's amazing, Charlene. Someone else says, "My sister, hey."
Okay.
All right. Someone else says, do the best you can, right? That's where we are. Terry Thompson says, Ashe, absolutely. Someone else says, yes, brings us truth. Deborah says, yes, a spiritual entourage to fill in the gap. I love it, right? And someone else says, hello. Listen, you guys, we're going to get ready to hop off here in just a moment, but I want you guys to know when we're talking about self-care, I want you to take from this live stream and I want you to make a short list. What are the things that you know deserve some of your undivided attention now? Like Thema said, instead of scattering your energy across a bunch of different things, there are a few things and maybe even one thing that is concerning to your self-care that you absolutely need the universe to give you some attention on, to show you that one thing. And don't be afraid to look and see what that one thing is, because I guarantee you we're going to cover something about it over the next 7 days. Thema, any last words before we hop off?
Yeah, I just want to honor the reality that some of you may find yourself in a space of overwhelm, because there's a lot going on right now between COVID-19, the protests, and everything else. If you don't know what to do nothing. Be still. Don't feel like you always have to know. Self-care includes intentional ignorance. Knowing when you don't know is a gift to yourself. And sometimes you might find yourself in a season of, I really just don't know yet. But I can promise you that by the end of this 7-day experience, you're going to have some greater clarity, and you're going to have tons of resources and tools to be able to get back into motion. But if you're in a space tonight where you don't know what to do, know that that's okay. That's okay. Be there. Be where you are until you are in your next moment. And I just want to offer somebody that who may, sometimes when you're in these spaces and you're in this energy, you can create unnecessary pressure. I just want you to know it's okay to be where you are. Know that you'll get more information. So I just wanted to offer that.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Be still. All right. Someone else says time management is one of the things that I need to pay the most attention to. Be okay. Yes, be okay with not knowing, right? And don't feel pressured to have an opinion about everything either, right? Because a lot of people feel like they have to pick a side. They have to give a rebuttal for everything they see or they read. I love how you said the I square intentional ignorance.
Intentional ignorance. I will be dumb in a heartbeat if it'll preserve my peace. Yes, I will. I will go dumb in a heartbeat to protect my peace. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly
so don't be afraid of that. Do what you got to do for you.
Absolutely. So before you hop off of this, make sure you send love and light to someone in the comments. Choose someone you do not know or someone you haven't sent love and light to while you've been on the live stream in a long time, because we know it's been a while. But make sure you send that to seal in our time together, you guys. And we will see you back here tomorrow night at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love the intentional dumbness, right?
Y'all know I'm silly.
All right, you guys. Have an outstanding night. Love and light to you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.